Chapter 13. Kill the Bastard. I remember one of the newer recruits who had just graduated from music school, a gifted clarinet player. What I remember was that he had been friends in college with one of his accomplished music professors. I don't know how it happened, but he somehow convinced Mr. Amy to let this professor be a guest conductor with the band. I knew that we had some good musicians in the band, but nobody ever played with any heart. The Army band could really suck that out of you. When that dignified professor stood tall at the podium and tapped his baton, we could tell he was something special. As I looked across the band, I could see many of the band members sitting up straighter and getting ready to play well. Within seconds, we all became transformed. Suddenly the sound was enthusiastic, synchronized, and in tune. We were flabbergasted. None of us could believe what we were hearing. Could that wonderful, sweet sound have really been there in the band the whole time, just waiting to come out for the right conductor? For 20 minutes, we all experienced musical heaven, an escape from the incessant mediocrity. Then Mr. Amy took the stand and had the band play some bland, mediocre military march for the professor. The professor was very gracious and kept a straight face. We were all watching, expecting him to grimace, but he didn't. I'm guessing he had been coached for that very situation. For a whole week, the professor would come in and rehearse his piece with the band, and Mr. Amy would rehearse his pieces. They were getting us ready to perform a concert where the two conductors would split the stage. Mr. Amy would conduct most of the material, and the professor would come in and conduct one or two selected pieces. Mr. Amy stayed surprisingly sober during that week. I'm sure he was trying hard not to embarrass himself. Mr. Amy may not have noticed the difference in the quality of the sound when the professor conducted, but everybody in the band certainly did. And the audience absolutely could. Mr. Amy showed up for the concert, wafting alcohol on his breath. After completing the first piece of the concert, conducted by Mr. Amy, there was a smattering of polite applause. Then the professor was introduced. He spoke with the audience elegantly about the composer of the piece that he had selected, and then turned to the band and raised his baton. I had never heard the band sound that good. It was truly an elevating experience. There was thunderous applause. It was clear when Mr. Amy returned to the podium that he was embarrassed to have been so completely outclassed. Mr. Amy's next piece to conduct had mixed meter. He got lost, and the band was playing on with him waving to the wrong tempo. He cut the band off and turned to the audience and said, "The band has not been practicing this enough. I apologize. Let's give them another try at that again." I don't know about you, but I have never been to a concert where the conductor cut off a band, an orchestra, or a choir in the middle of a concert. It is never done, and it was because of Mr. Amy's poor musical skills, lack of preparation, and booze. That was one of the most humiliating moments I can ever remember as a musician. As we returned to the barracks, I heard, "Kill the bastard!" and a long stream of profanities. Two of the members of the band, who were known as druggies, began plotting to drop a significant quantity of LSD into the officer's coffee pot. "Enough to kill the bastard!" They were stopped in their plot by cooler heads, but not by much. I came mighty close to being in the Army band known for having murdered its CO.